whole team fucking here.
OMG!
Oh my God!
Santiago!
Dave Serpa! Yay!
Literally the funniest thing that has ever happened right before a show, you wrote to me and you said, you were talking to your husband and you said that your husband said, does Serpa know how crazy you are? For the first time in history, somebody actually wrote to me and said, I might out Serpa. Tune in.
I might give you some
crazy.
money. $100 bill, y'all.
This is what happens when you have the daughter of an immigrant from Staten Island, New York, and
right.
white trash on one show. It's gonna get a little bit crazy. We're gonna let our hair down just a little bit.
Come on.
All right, cool. Grace, thank you so much for doing the show with me today. You're one of those people, and you told me you've been compared to Robin Williams and Jim Carrey meets Aunt Jemima.
So true.
Which makes a ton of sense. I've gotten compared to the two of the, not Aunt Jemima. You could remove Aunt Jemima, but I'm a little bit.
We'll have to work on that then.
Hey, you know what? You tell me a little bit of Aunt Jemima. Tell me what I need to. How do I harness my inner Aunt Jemima?
That's right. That maple goodness.
The maple goodness. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this about you. You are from Staten Island, New York.
That's right.
You lived in the projects. Your
I did.
mother, who is an Ecuadorian immigrant, was a single mother. She instilled values, hard work, and the importance of serving others. She became a real estate agent in San Diego.
Absolutely.
He was, and I tell people, part of real estate is establishing generational wealth. Changing not just your stars, but the stars for your children. And that's one of those things that you still get in this industry that you don't get in a lot of other places. You got into REO, you got in a situation where you saw the market shifting. You worked with Casabella, you worked with Bob Hellman, who's also with EXP. And you got in a situation where you were managing 37 REOs coming in per week. You saw the shift jumped into short sales. You got into you opened up a restaurant and a brewery, which is now has had $200,000 in profit. You opened up a second location. We're going to get into all of this. We're going to talk cuts and keeps. We're going to talk about the book recommendations. But first and foremost, I wanted to let people know just how big of a deal it is having somebody who sees the shift, who sees the trends, who sees the history, who's a student of history, jump and come to EXP. Grace, welcome aboard. You didn't just get here either. You already have an organization established, but we're making the big announcement that Grace Santiago has arrived.
That's right. I'm so excited about EXP. I really can't express how blessed I feel to be introduced to this organization. It's so exciting to be surrounded with like-minded people. I've been a lone wolf for a really, really, really long time.
Yes.
And on my little island, really, really happy, got incredibly burned out with REO and short sale, experienced a lot of ugly in the business in that particular field. And I got burned out. So I wanted to be that lone wolf. I wanted to have my own little island, and I liked it. That's
the thing that I keep telling people. I keep telling people more islands are choosing EXP than anything else. This isn't the kind of thing, and there's the saying, and, I don't feel good about saying it, but I'm going to say it, that eagles don't pal around with turkeys. And so if you are somebody who is an eagle, somebody who is, going up and taking a new $1 million listing last week, congratulations.
Thank you.
And you don't need the energy suck that comes along with a lot of times dealing with a corrupt industry, dealing with these people that are very predatory, that they're like, you're with us or you're against us, and we're going to get you when you go against us. We're sick of the Mafia Don mentality, which is why so many lone wolves are now joining this pack, which are joining EXP. And it's very exciting because at the beginning of the day, I get to talk to you guys. I get to talk to my lone wolves. I get to talk to people that make each other better, and we get to mastermind. So
Yes.
let's talk for a second. Why did you choose EXP? And then we're going to get back into your story.
Oh my goodness. Besides the profit sharing, the revenue, the mentorship programs, the agent attraction, besides all of that, I really felt it was important to provide some stability. As you know, markets go up, they go down. Yes, I can see trends. I know where to go.
Yes.
But, it comes, I don't want to sacrifice any more time than I've had to. And I don't want to take that from my family anymore. So my big why was EXP is going to give me the platform so I can actually spend some time with my family. It's pretty sad when you say, oh, I've been in real estate for 14 years and the last time I had a vacation was on maternity leave. And then because real estate, you have to be on all the time when you're new. But EXP provided that. It's going to provide that. It's going to provide a wonderful revenue stream for my family, give me the stability when the market's down, when the market's up. And, let's face it, retirement, that's a huge thing for me. You can't just keep running this marathon. You just can't. Something's going to give. And
I keep telling people you can't sell a business in real estate the way that you used to be able to. There's this illusion, and let's jump into that for just a second because and it will kind of get us away from talking about EXU, which I try not to do too much in the first 10 minutes. But the illusion, and we all do it, and this is part of the reason why I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad right now, which has been fantastic. But there's this illusion that we feed that, hey, at some point or another, I'm going to be able to sell my brokerage. I'm going to be able to sell my team. I'm going to be able to sell my book of business. And we don't live in that world anymore. The best thing that you could do in a lot of ways is over the course of the next couple of years, bring a few agents into EXP and then set yourself up for retirement.
Absolutely. And the thing, I love my old broker. He's amazing, dear friend, love him to death. But I've brought a lot of agents into my last brokerage and I didn't get anything from it other than, yay, good job. That was amazing. Thank you. And so that's why I love EXP is that I can bring people to an amazing company with so many resources. It's just a win-win for everyone.
Well, you're either getting yourself fed or you're getting someone else's family fed. And this is for the first time they've set up really it's almost like a collective. It's like a commune where we're kind of like looking out for each other and everybody gets a little piece, and it really is agent ownership. It's very unique. But what I do on this show is I like to go where we start. Yeah. And we listened to Drake in the beginning. We said we started from the bottom. Now we're here. Right. And the whole team is here, which is more important.
Yay! Love you, team.
And it's very exciting, these people that we get to work with, but it starts from the beginning.
Yes.
And the beginning is Staten Island.
Oh my gosh. So if I've had too many beers, I say talk and quarter. Haven't had any this morning, but talk and quarter. Yeah. So Staten Island's a great little island, right? Beautiful. And one of the boroughs, amazing location. It's just, Staten Island. I was born in the projects. We had humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And my mom wanted to change. She made a change. She made it happen. She didn't know certain things about being an American citizen, but she figured it out. And it was an amazing experience to have such a wonderful role model. She made it happen, She made it happen.
I love what you said about your mother. She didn't know about the American experience, but she learned. And it's not your fault in this life if you are born poor. It is your fault, however, if you leave debt to your children, period.
Yes.
And so she made a decision to leave the East Coast and head to San Diego. And what prompted that? What was that transition like for you guys?
It's pretty interesting. My mom was a dynamic woman. So she says, Mija, tails, we go to Hawaii, heads, we go to San Diego. So we went to San Diego because it was heads. And it was just a really great experience. A little bit of a culture shock. We went right into La Jolla. She says, I'm going to make a baby. I'm going to the big city. I'm going to La Jolla. So we went to La Jolla and embraced everything that we could. It was an interesting experience, a little bit of culture shock. Of course, they had the accent, but it was
Yeah.
fun. You learn to
I'm
make
gonna
friends
make
with all that. I'm going to make a baby.
it was the plan real estate to go to La Jolla and get into real estate?
I don't think she had a plan, but she knew that she was going to manifest it.
Moving west.
Yes, moving west.
I always tell people you can't move any further west than this. When all these people are giving up on California and they're moving to Texas and they're moving out to, Florida, or they're moving to Washington, they're like, I've had it. And I say, you can't move any further west than this. You got to draw the line somewhere. There's a reason why people moved west, and it was the dream. And there's why there's so many of us that have that in our blood, that pilgrim's blood, that the desire to make something better for ourselves and make something better for our children. And your mom had it. You have it as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. She passed it down to you. You told me that your mom instilled tell me about your mom deciding to get into real estate. What was that like?
Oh my goodness. So she wanted the flexibility, which real estate does provide. When you're sick, you don't have to work. I mean, I work anyway, but she wanted the flexibility. And then she also wanted, sky's the limit. With real estate, it's really we make our own tone. We make our own salary. I mean, it really is. We call the shots. And that's what she wanted. She wanted to enjoy life. And she thought she could do it in real estate. And she became a broker and then married my stepdad, and he was a broker. And then they threw me in the business.
I love that she became a broker and then married my stepdad, who is a broker. She wasn't waiting for anyone to save her. You have to become the Superman that you're looking for. You have to become that person. You have to stop waiting to be saved. And your mom really took ownership of her life. There's no feeling sorry for yourself when you're moving out to San Diego. And I love what you said. The sky is the limit. That's why we get into real estate. That's why we don't let somebody say, hey, this is what you're worth annually. You're worth $100,000 annually. Because we say, no, I'm worth more than that. Or no, if I'm going to be worth 100,000, I better be getting some time off, not working 9 to 5. And so, recognizing that young, learning that from your mom, when did you get into real estate? When did that happen?
Well, I was pretty bitter when I was younger because mom was always doing open houses. Mom was always busy showing property. I would set up her appointments. So I was pretty bitter. I was disenchanted from the business because I saw the trials and tribulations that she had to go through, and I chose a different route. I wasn't going to be part of that.
You know what's so interesting about that is a lot of us feel like watching our kids that they're going to develop a lot of those idiosyncrasies and a lot of those hurts and those traumas from watching us be busy parents.
Yes.
Very interesting.
So I was a little disenchanted. So I went into loan processing, doc drawing. I was still within the business, did a couple things here and there. And then when my mother got really sick with pulmonary fibrosis, I knew that I needed to make a change. She actually ended up passing. And I had this life epiphany that I needed, as a single mom at that time with 2 children, I needed to provide for my family. And it was either put up or shut up, basically. And I went into real estate.
Wow.
Yeah, I was able to, through a friend, get connected with a successful real estate team in Oceanside. They taught me the weirding way. And within 2 months, I had 11 on the board.
Bam! That's the first time I've ever heard of anybody beating me in their second month of real estate. That's quite frustrating for me, Grace Santiago.
I'm not going to out Serpa.
11 in your second month in real estate.
Yeah.
In escrow, put up or shut up. I love the lessons that we get when we're like, I'm not going to follow my parents. I'm not going to do that. And then we always end up kind of walking in these footsteps, and we learn these lessons, and we also learn a little bit of humility, but then we find our strength. And that's what you did. Right. 11 in escrow. So what does that do for a single mother with 2 kids to get 11 in escrow?
It was, excuse me, it was life-changing.
Yeah.
Completely life-changing. And like, I will always remember this team. They are amazing. I'm still friends with them. They gave me the most amazing tools, what to do, what not to do. And then I branched on my own. You know, I went on my own, but they were pivotal in my success, as well as my title rep. Aligning yourself with people who are smarter than you was the smartest thing I could ever do.
Preach.
Yeah.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And
that's right.
I think that a lot of us get very excited when we go into a new office and they're throwing all these things at us, and you're the person that is the most knowledgeable in that room. They want to keep you there, and so they give you lots of shiny things and lots of recognition.
Yes.
But in actuality, you're now in the wrong room. You've outlasted that room. And it's no offense to that room. The room either gets better with you, or you out-improve the room, and you need to find new rooms that are going to sharpen you and move you forward as a human.
And that's why I love EXP, is because there's so many people around that are smarter than me, that are in so many different ways. It's just inspiring, and it's given me new life and new energy to want to try other things that I've never tried before in the industry.
Yeah. And you've tried a lot of different things.
A lot of things, yeah, from commercial to land to you name it.
For those of you just tuning in, we've got my fellow Manic friend, Grace Santiago, who's with EXP, and she's a trend recognizer. She saw the shift coming in REO. She saw the shift coming into short sell. She has extensive experience in both, and now she sees the shift coming away from the brick and mortar real estate, away from that high overhead, and towards agent ownership, towards EXP, and that's what we're talking about right now. So when did you first hear about EXP?
I heard about it, I want to say in August or July, when I saw a video that you had posted.
Yeah.
And it made me stop, drop, and roll. I mean, I was on fire. I could not believe, and I got it. Within a second, I got it. And
I keep telling people, I'm like, I don't want this to sound condescending or rude in any way, shape, or form, but it's either one of those things that you're either going to get it or you're not going to get it. But for the sake of all things holy, just understand what you're saying no to, because this is the shift. So you were on fire immediately. What did that look like for you?
I just, I was like a trapped animal. Once I found out about EXP, I was like, I got to get out of the cage. I was pacing, panting. Yes. I needed to get out. And it was an easy process. I mean, it really was. I mean, I had a lot on my plate at the time because, the brewery and the restaurant and whatnot. So the transition was, for me personally, a little bit, needed to wait until some things fell into play. But I mean, I will always remember September 5th as my rebirth date.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Like when I get a chance to talk to people about it, and it's not this greasy thing. It really isn't. Like when I get to approach people about EXP and I get to talk to them about it, it really is. It's one of those things that it's very freeing, because we get into this mindset that we are transactional, that we have to grind, that we have to grind, that we have to grind.
Yes.
And I've always been someone who tries to see a way out of it, that tries to see the strings and tries to see a new opportunity. And the people that are like that, we often are very ostracized by the people around us because we are the people that recognize trends. And so people that recognize trends get burned at the stake more often than not. But right now we're in a unique situation where trendsetters are all getting together here. So you got out of the cage and you're pacing around trying to be like, when can I do it? When can I do it? And it took you a little while to get processed.
Yes, it took a little bit, but it's okay. All good things are worth waiting for. But just the, like I said, the support. I mean, they're just a phone call away, or I log into EXP World, and it's just this amazing virtual platform that I can get answers right away. It was a transition for me once I made the switch to EXP, because I'm so used to doing everything by myself and not having to rely or need anyone else. And for me to get back into a community who truly cares about my success was mind blowing. Like, truly cared, not like, oh, we're going to have this shiny little toy, Grace Santiago, and once we get her, we're going to benefit, but I'm not going to benefit her.
I love that, because that's, as a new agent, that's what it get, or as not a new agent, but an agent who gets recruited into an office, because that's what happens. We get recruited,
Yes.
we get shiny toyed, and then we get put up on a platform as a recruiting platform. And a lot of times the big agent in the office, and I never was one of those people that was like, well, what are you going to do for me specially? But the big agent in the office is, what are you going to do for me specially? What am
Yes.
I going to get? And that's not what every other agent is getting. So for
That's
somebody
right.
who spent 14 years in real estate.
Yeah.
14 years in real estate. And you've been to a lot of different companies. You've been through a lot of
Yes.
different bubbles and booms, and you've been to the puppet show. You've seen the strings. What is EXP like, and what's so different about it?
They're so invested in making you succeed with whatever platform you want to go, whether it's agent attraction, whether it's mentorship, whether it's selling, whatever you want to do, you have unlimited amount of support, and not just within California, but you have people who are in New York and Pennsylvania and all these other areas that have different ideas and different, views on how to do real estate. It's just so mind-blowing, the amount of information you can get. If you can't succeed in EXP, that's your own fault. That's your own fault.
That's
because
right.
They give you everything,
And you're literally surrounded. You are the average of the company that you keep, period.
That's right.
You're surrounded by a bunch of people that are negging you out, that are negative around the office, that silently begrudge you your success, because that's what happens. You come into the office, everyone's like, oh my God, we love you, Grace Santiago. We love you, Serpa. And then you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to help out everybody. I'm going to tell everybody everything I know. And then you become successful. And then people are like, I hate you. I want you to fail.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Well, like when I was deep in short sale, everyone wanted to know how I did it, how I was able to succeed. And I had one big local realtor who said, hey, can you come in, teach my team? I'll give you $2,000 and you can teach my team how to be successful in short sale. Mm-hmm. Well, how does that benefit me? $2,000.
You got $2,000.
How does that benefit me? But I was this shiny tool, and everybody wanted this shiny little lure, and then I retreated. I went to Lone Mountain, and I'm happy to be back. I really am. I'm really, really happy to be back.
I really don't happy to be back. Happy to be back. Well, welcome back, Grace. A lot of people keep telling me, welcome back, Serpa. It's so good to have you back. And I'm like, listen, I just got sick of everyone. I got sick of everything. I got to a point to where it was just so exhausting dealing with the bureaucracy and the bull crap and the strings and the people who should be happy in my success and are financially benefiting from it. Am I cutting out? But the people that should be around me that are happy for me were the people that did not want good things for me. And when you realize that on a very internal level, it hurts.
It does.
So it's as wolves, and I that's my spirit animal. I always tell people I'm a wolf.
I'm a narwhal.
Right on. Let's talk spirit animals. As a wolf, I am a pack animal, but I am also totally fine being the crazy hillbilly up in the hills by myself. But naturally, I want to hang out with everybody. I want to be a part of everyone else's success. So what has it been like for you to be back, Grace?
It's just, it's just the, like I said, it's just really, at first it was kind of weird. I was like, wow, what is this right? People are wanting to help me. Like, where's the hidden agenda? Where's the hidden agenda? But it was so great. It was so great because there wasn't any agenda. It was truly amazing, like-minded people who wanted everyone to succeed. We're all here to help each other. And it made me so, it felt like I found family again.
Yes.
That's what EXP did for me. It felt like I found long lost family again, which is important in whatever you're doing.
That really, like, it sounds corny to a lot of people that don't understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are people that are skeptical and that are jaded and that are sick of this industry. And I talk to them. I talk to somebody, who I've been trying to bring over for a while. I was like, dude, I'm just so sick of this industry. I've had it. I'm out of here.
Yep.
And I'm like, listen, just be around these good people that I am around regularly for a couple of weeks. And if it doesn't totally change your mind about everything, if you aren't exposed to some new thought without being sold extra crap, then check out. But from somebody who was so done with real estate that I left and I was like, I'm done. I'm sick of it. I would rather never make a dime in real estate again than help other people make money for a company that I don't believe in. And I was so sick of it. I jumped over, everyone's like, you went to 8 different brokerages. I was like, I was trying to look for something that was good for everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It just has been like finding family.
Yeah, it is. It's finding family. And everyone in this family wants everyone to do well. I mean, from coaching to the specialized groups. I mean, my phone goes off all the time. I'm thinking, oh.
I got worried when you left our mastermind group. I was like, oh my God, Grace left. She checked out. And I think it was just like too many dings.
Too many dings. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody has ideas and they're amazing. I can't focus. I need to focus.
And it really is like it for somebody who's manic, right?
Yes.
And we both are two people that are hypomanic, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think as long as you can do that successfully. So if we could talk for a second about what it means to be manic and what it means to work like a maniac and have everyone around be like, do you sleep?
Yeah.
What is that like for you being manic? And is it a good thing?
It's for me to funnel that energy into something productive is what I need. So I have a million projects all the time. Yes. And people are wondering why, how do you sleep? Are you crazy? Like, how do you get this done? But I think that if you, for someone who's manic to not have that, it's easy to go into probably a depressive state. They always have to feel like they need to get things done. Yes. So that's as long as I have things. Yep, absolutely. So, for me, it's all about creating as many businesses as I can. And then working on my real estate business, which is my number one priority. I mean, I love real estate. I can't ever see myself getting out of it. Yes, I can be disenchanted at times, just like with any job, but real estate is in me. I breathe it, I walk it, I sleep it, I can see the trends. It is second nature.
I am somebody that watches patterns and sees trends as well. And that's why you got an REO. That's why you got a short sale. That's why your brewery is doing so well. You basically started a brewery when everyone was like just starting to think like it's cool. You did it. You did it successfully. You were insanely profitable. Talk to me a little bit about the Mason Jar Brewing Company, because it's important to diversify, to put your money to work for you, and to not just be in one thing. And with EXP, you really get the revenue share, the stock. You get to practice real estate in a very affordable way, but you also get to free up your time and join the new rich, like the 4-Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You get to put your money to work for you. So you're putting your money to work for you. You're doing it successfully again because you understand entrepreneurship. Let's talk about the Mason Jar Brewery Company.
So my husband and I used to our thing was craft beer. We loved it, and I was cheap, so I bought him a beer kit, and I said, "This guy's got an addiction. I need to like reel him back to expensive beer." And so then we started. I bought him a beer kit. He made beer, and it was awful. And instead of tucking his tail, he learned how to brew the right way and then taught me. And then we were brewing in our garage with our dog and our 6 year old. And it was a fun time for us. The neighbors used to come enjoy beer with us while we were making it in the garage. It was a fun time. And so that
So you
led
were
in
basically moonshining.
totally. It was fun. It was so great, I tell you. And then, it got to the point where people were knocking at our door and they're like, "Hey, do you have that coconut lime beer?" And we're like, "Who are you?"
Coconut
And we're like,
lime
"This is
beer.
odd. Why are you knocking at our door?" "Oh, we bought that beer over at a party and we really like it." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So then, of course, I'm like, we need to make this into a business. And the little nest egg we had from real estate that I had saved up from REO and short sale, we put that into the business, opened a little mom and pop shop in Menifee, and the rest
Yes.
is history.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's
And
so cool. Like when people talk. So one of the stories in Rich Dad Poor Dad, which again I'm getting totally crazy about, but he talks about starting these businesses. When you stop getting to a point to where you're desperate for money, you start seeing the needs, and then you start being able to capitalize on them by doing these things that you already see that there's a need for that you enjoy. So you start brewing beer, and by the way, coconut lime beer.
Oh, my favorite is the dark chocolate raspberry coconut stout, but that's my fave.
I'm not even a beer drinker, and like my mouth is watering right now. My neighbors used to brew beer when I was living over anyway, it's not important, but and they would like dump it in the backyard and stuff. Like that stinks, but every once in a while I got some. I was like, this is delicious.
Yeah.
And then I'd get really drunk really quick, and I don't drink a lot of beer, but I wish I could. But I sweat like a maniac when I drink beer. It's just part of
Oh,
that.
I turn red, so that's okay.
So you said dark chocolate raspberry beer,
Yep.
coconut lime beer.
Yep. Yep. We've got some crazy flavors. So I'm the crazy one, obviously. He's the one that's grounded. And so his are really delicious, German inspired traditional beers. And then mine are all off the wall.
So you make 200,000 in profit off of the.
Actually, we this year will probably our gross sales will be over 500,000. Um, and that's just selling beer, so that's good. I can't complain. It's really good, and because of our success, we knew.
Viewership for this right here. 500,000 in profit for beer. Like, Grace Santiago. This is the first standing ovation of the Serpa show. You made it. 500,000 in profit for beer. Like that's the kind of thing that all of these hipsters right now with their big, manicured beards are just dreaming about doing, and you did it.
Well,
How?
it's a really hard industry. You have to have a good product. You have to have marketing. I think that if it wasn't for my husband and I, and the experience that we had, the road we've traveled, there is no way that we could have been successful in our business. So we weren't ready for it until 4 or 5 years ago when we truly knew how to manage businesses, knew how to manage money. I mean, real estate gave me a wonderful platform as far as marketing. We're just really blessed, honestly, and we see the need for growth, and that's why we're opening a restaurant in San Jacinto. And that's due to open in February. It is a brew pub / country store, so it's kind of like a hybrid. I know. It's kind of like a hybrid Carl Strauss meets Cracker Barrel. So you've got your country store. We're brewing on premises. We have a small farmers market as well, where they can get locally sourced fruits and vegetables, farm to table.
Kate, did you
It's
hear
just
that?
a really amazing brain child of mine. So
My wife is doing like this right now. She's like, um, because that was one of the things that I wanted to do in Temecula. I was looking at purchasing that one of the old storefronts there, and starting basically like a farmers market type themed business in Old Town. And it was like,
yep,
I think that is where the world is going. The world is
I think
going
so.
back from more towards like the consumer to the person that is selling. This is our craft beer. We make it here. People supporting local business. This is local produce. This is local product. It is here. I am local. I own this business. I am
Yeah,
here. It is like, it's basically like consumer to sales. And it's could
absolutely.
not be a more exciting time for an entrepreneur.
Yes.
There's a lot of opportunity in the shifting market. And what's happening right now is agents and people with businesses are being plagued by fear because they don't understand the opportunities. So, can you
That's right.
shed a little bit of knowledge for us as somebody who made $500,000 for beer and has opened up a second location, turning a garage hobby into a successful business? Somebody who did REO, somebody who did short sales. You make money in the shift like nobody I have seen, in that you recognize the trends. But this time, you have the money to get out
Yep.
ahead of it. And so you're the one who's capitalizing on the opportunity. What is it that, I mean, like, I feel like I'm getting so much information from this that I wasn't expecting. I read a book by Joseph Campbell called The Good Companion. And he was saying in the beginning of his life, he had sort of this distaste for money and this distaste for people with money. And
Yep.
through the hero's journey and meeting people who sold stock and major stock traders in New York, he realized that money and spirituality actually go hand in hand. You circulate it, you let it go out in the world, you give it out to get it back. What is it that you
Absolutely.
understand about money that has put you in this situation?
So when you release the power that money has over you, you're able to make it abundantly.
Yes.
That has been my key mantra. When you're fearful of not having enough, it's almost like you attract no money.
Yes.
I'm very grounded in my strong beliefs. I love, I'm Christian, but I do believe in God and uh, provides for us and gives us the wherewithal. These wonderful ideas we have are all driven from a divine source. And I really think that the law of attraction is huge. So you want to stay with like-minded people. You want to attract good things. Thoughts are powerful. They really are. They can give us fear. They can give us energy. You really, really want to be aware of what you're projecting and
Yep.
what you're thinking. But for me, I never worry about finances ever.
Mhm.
Money will come, and that's something that I learned from my mother. She says, "Don't worry, Mija. Money will come. Money will come. Make it happen. It'll come."
Mhm.
And it does. It comes. It really does.
It takes a lot
So,
of courage to live like that when
yes,
we live in a constant state of fear. And as somebody who, as a child, I was raised by a single mother and we were homeless a couple of different times. And we didn't die, we
no,
made it. And
yeah,
homelessness nowadays, what we consider homelessness, which is like living with friends or living with family or living in a car for a night, we're okay. We're going to get by. But it's that shift in thought. When you start taking
right,
control of yourself,
yes,
that's when you have the ability to change your surroundings.
yes. I think my cat's trying to commit suicide. Can you hear that meowing?
It's going to be okay, Kitty. It's going to be okay. You're gonna get Grace back in a second. So what I would like to do is I'd like to take a minute, and I would like to talk about the market shift.
Yes,
It's here. Okay, we've been kind of talking about it a little bit. So because the
yes.
market shift is here, what is your cut? What are you cutting from your expenses in real estate for this market? What's
So
super?
I am I don't like the internet marketing anymore. I don't like Zillow. I don't like the HUD home stores. I don't like all these predatory, I call them predatory, hack jobs wanting your money and giving you really crap leads. And I know Zillow is really throwing a campaign out there where now they're sending you warm leads and just pay us, XYZ. Unless you're prepared to pay like $10,000 a month, I really don't see it beneficial. For me, I'm bringing it old school. I really miss the connection that we have with people.
Yes.
Yeah. So
absolutely. You can't fake that.
Yeah, you can't fake that. I mean, I really miss the connection. So I don't mind doing open houses. I don't mind knocking on doors. I don't mind getting to know people within my community because I legitimately want to know who they are. I really do. I have a great service. I have a great skill. Let me
Yep.
help you. And
Value.
that's value. Absolutely.
That's
So I think
awesome.
going old school
I have
is
an
huge.
open house scheduled this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Come out and see me. It's a great house.
Nice.
450,000 in Murrieta. And then you held an open house at a million plus over the weekend. And the thing is you have to go old school, especially in the shift. There is no path to success that does not lead through hard work. You're going to have to ground the pavement at some point or another. And it takes one of two things to be successful: money or time. Yes. And it takes both to stay successful.
Yes, absolutely.
What are you spending money on?
I'm not spending much.
Okay.
I'm not spending much at all. I really want to, again, give back as much as I can. So I rather give back than, and when you give, you get. You know that. When you give, you get. Mm-hmm. So, I rather give back in ways with that money, and then I make connections, and then people refer me and they say, hey, Grace does real estate. Why don't you go with Grace? And they trust me, and there's no hidden agenda. It's just being the agent that you wish you had.
Being the agent you wish you had. And mic drop. Giving. It's like people think it's like this joke. And another great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Yes. It sounds very manipulative, but the title is just a little bit off. It should be like how to help everyone around you while you win too. And it's really just give. Like when you go around everyone with commission breath, and you are going around begging everyone for everything, begging everyone from listings, begging people to join EXP. People smell it on you and they don't want anything to do with you. But when you give, like Golden says, givers gain. I have gotten more business from volunteer work and from things that I've done in the community and from past business that I've treated well than I get from internet leads.
Yep, that's right. When you're out there in the community, truly, truly caring and coming from a genuine place, not, oh, well, if I give, I'll get it back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Genuine, be genuine about it. Find something that sparks that life in you and give. It will give back to you. Mm-hmm. It will give back to you. So, I'm starting to farm again, whereas before I never, going old school, door knocking, meeting people, getting to know their dog's names because their dog is super cute. But going old school, I think it's important,
People always say, Serpa, what's your biggest piece of success that you could give? I say, work open houses. And they say, what else? And I always tell people, no. Work open houses, get to know these people, work them consistently in the same area, and it is a farm. You will establish your farm by doing that. So,
I mean, if you're going to do an open house, go knock the open house before, the location, knock them. Hey, say, hey, I have an open house. Have you been to it? I'd love to see you. Maybe you have a friend or family who's interested in it. It's just, again, connections. We're placing that seed where they never thought like, oh, maybe, I do have someone who might want that house. I should go take a look at it.
Your open house starts 3 days before the open house when you farm it. And the reason why I was so successful in my second month in real estate, like you were, I have a feeling, is I held those open houses and I farmed them because I got 17 open house signs stolen in my first weekend of open houses, but I still had so much business because I farmed 400 doors and I held 6-hour open houses.
Yeah, longer open houses, especially on your first one. I mean, one of the tidbits that I do is I try to hold, if I list it on a Monday, I try to hold showings until Saturday because then you have a rush of people and it's like that little black dress that people want and they have to have it because then there's a lot of people in there. It creates this synergy. It's pretty amazing. And then the hour before the first open house, you do a pick your neighbor open house where it's just neighbors that can come, have a little luncheon, get to know. It's kind of, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing. Again, connecting.
It doesn't feel greasy.
It's not greasy.
Where it's just like, hey, I just want to let you guys know because I would want to know if there was a house coming available in my neighborhood because I love where I live. I've got an open house this weekend. If you guys know anybody or have any friends or family that you might want to have live in the neighborhood, feel free to send them by. Here's a flyer. Yep. It's not like, do you want to sell your house?
Do you want solar?
Do you want solar? It's like it's coming from a place of service. So really, like the shift is going to go away from tech and it's going to go back to your local expert. And it doesn't matter if your local expert works at Tarbell, at Coldwell, at First Team, at EXP, at Keller Williams. It doesn't matter. People that want to do business with Grace Santiago are going to do business with Grace Santiago.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's the person, it's not the company. That's a value. Big brokerages, small boutiques, they can have good agents, bad agents. It's that individual who really makes or break a transaction. And, get to know those agents on the other end. One of the things that I think is so funny, and I try to teach people around me, is that if someone asks to see a property, reach out to them and say, hi, how are you? Thank you for your text. I'd love to set up that appointment. Can you please wait a moment while I check with my seller? And I hope to have a fast response for you.
Yeah.
Something nice, something, again, if I was to receive that on the other end, I would want to do business with that agent. Mm-hmm. And that might make or break a deal. Just a little
right there is worth its weight in gold when it comes time for the negotiations. When it comes time for, that's why you don't open the doors until Saturday. It creates that sense of urgency. People are seeing other people coming in and out of the open house, and it creates that, oh my God, this thing's not going to be here. And it's just understanding the way that it works. So let's do this really quick. And because this has been a great show, but I want to give you an opportunity to tell people about EXP. Rest of the show, let's talk some freaking EXP. Okay, let's give everybody our greasy EXP pitch. Let people know exactly what time it is because the thing is, the people that I'm talking to, they just flat out be like, I just didn't know that this existed.
Yep. What I think is interesting is that people are still fearful of the unknown. Mm-hmm. And so were they with REO and short sale. And then REO and short sale, that big ship came. And they missed it. And they missed it because they were too afraid. They need to jump in. They need it. What's going to happen? Worst case scenario, it doesn't work for you. Go back to your old broker.
That's right.
But what if it's amazing? Like everyone says it is. It wouldn't be so great. I mean, all these heavy hitters are coming. It isn't. I just can't. My mind is like, why wouldn't you go where all these successful agents are going? I don't understand. What is your hesitance? Yeah. Why are you hesitant?
It's 100% fear at this point. It's fear or it's not understanding the platform. And it's a complicated platform. And it might take you 20 minutes to understand it. But most of us are not going to take 20 minutes to understand something that could absolutely 100% change our lives. So this is my suggestion to you. If you are watching right now, or if shoot Grace a message on Facebook and say, I just want to know a little bit more about EXP. She's not going to contact your broker. She's not going to contact your agents if you are a broker. She's not going to contact your team if you are a team lead, or your team lead if you are an agent on a team. the thing is this is something that is really, you just have to take a minute to understand it. And so if you could tell people in a nutshell, because I'll tell people right now, the reason why I chose EXP, I didn't even understand the revenue share until about 3 weeks ago, which is why I'm amping up the Serpa show. Have you noticed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't want to be dialing for dollars, but the revenue share and what I get as an individual agent, I can't compare with anyone anywhere else. $16,000 cap, the tech, but you've all heard from me. Why did you choose EXP? What is your pitch for people?
It will give me an exit strategy when I need one.
Yes.
It will be there for me. I had a big health scare. I had the flu. I got really sick, and then I had my gallbladder had to be removed, and I couldn't work for about 7 months.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, we throw everything back into the brewery, so we're not collecting a salary off of it. So we're reinvesting for healthy growth. And so for me to be down and out and not have any income, which that is our only source, is incredibly frightening. So EXP provided that platform with a revenue share that if something was to happen to me, my family would still be able to survive. I would be able to survive. We all get sick. It happens. So that was my major push for EXP and having a family again.
Really quick, there's a distinguished, or people want to make the difference between attracting agents and not recruiting. And you're absolutely 100% right. David Golden, we don't want just a bunch of people here that are going to be, negative energy. I think that this is something where it's just a recruiting platform and they're not practicing real estate. This is something that is a diversification of income. It is an opportunity to make your business not so transactional. But I can tell you right now, 100%, now that I understand it, I'm going to continue to practice real estate for the next 5 or 6 months, and then I plan to be done with it. And I just want to mentor and teach and help other people to be successful, because I have other things that I want to invest my time in that are revenue increasing, that I make money on, or that I just enjoy doing because I want to help people. But real estate is a wealth. It's something where you make wealth so that you can free up time and get into other things. So anyway, Grace, give me your book recommendation.
I'm going to go old school. I love The Secret. I love The Secret because it's all about understanding energy and the law of attraction. I live my life by it. I do. And it saved me so many times. And then I love don't sweat the small stuff too. Because honestly, wasting your energy on things that are counterproductive, really, that needs to be funneled into something that's making money or making people happy.
Yep, absolutely. What you appreciates. And, just do away with the negative energy, because that's like, drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Right.
You said something really important a moment ago. You said that like you had a health scare.
Yes.
And you realized just how delicate all of this is. And I think that a lot of us are one health scare away, one tragedy away, one mortgage payment away, one car payment away from losing everything. We live in that state of constantly like, I got to pay the mortgage. I got to pay the car payments. I got to keep up with the Joneses. And a lot of times you have to take a step back, be the person that you want to be.
Yes.
Do the things that you want to do. And then you'll have the things that you want to have, and you'll realize that those things aren't all this crap. So putting that in perspective for you, what did that health scare do for you in your life perspective shift?
I'm just going to, I prayed for an opportunity and I knew it would find me. And in May is when I really, really shift focus and I really started looking at other options that would give me an opportunity to get where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And then my prayers were answered. EXP fell into my lap. I mean, it was just like that. And that's why I'm saying is that law of attraction. It was a life epiphany once EXP came into my world. It really was. It was a game changer, complete game changer. And all I want to do is help other people have that same switch turned on to see it. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Once that switch turns on, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee EXP.
You can't unsee EXP. And that's one of the reasons why all of these big companies are getting so nervous. And a lot of these local broker owners are getting nervous. I'm saying, come on now. And some of the people who have the big brick and mortar, or they have, a high overhead, and they're not making money anyway. They're not making money anyway. This is your opportunity out. If you owned a Blockbuster and I told you that Netflix existed, what would you do with your Blockbuster today?
Right. That's the thing. EXP is the future. It really is. And as I've seen trends. I've seen the industry. I mean, I've been through crashes with my mom as a broker. I mean, I've seen it. And of course, there's a correction going on right now. You have to see trends. And
what
if you know,
what do you think?
Oh, well, of course, interest rates rise, property values drop. I mean, people can only afford what they can afford.
Yep.
So, if their mortgage payment is $2,800, I mean, really, who can afford that? Because wages aren't increasing.
Mm-hmm.
Something's got to give. So houses start to come down. I've had through, I think it's Qantas, 11 requests for BPO just in 2 days. So there's shifts.
Yeah. And right now, and I met with a few top agents all over Southern California earlier this week, and everybody's telling me the same thing. They said, my business is down about 15% from last year, or my business is down about 10% from last year. A monkey could have made money last year. Could have made money last year. This year, they're changing a little bit. You have to become a student of the game. You have to understand what you're doing, and you could still make a lot of money in real estate by servicing your clients effectively. But these big, huge teams, if they're not being ran effectively, like mine was not being ran effectively, are going to get hit hard. Because you can't keep up a $26,000 a month overhead if you're not having the easy business and the low-hanging fruit coming in. So intelligent. And because you saw BPOs coming across your desk, which for those of you that don't know what BPOs are, short sales are coming back a little bit.
Yeah, they are. I just closed a short sale not too long ago. I mean, it took a year. A nice awkward short sale, but it took a year. Yeah, we just closed it 2 months ago. But they are coming back. They're definitely coming back. I mean, people are you have people where they just have enough equity, not much, and you throw commissions in there, and then now they're underwater. So the thing is that we definitely have to look and find the need and be the need. That's what we need to do in this particular market. That's how you survive.
You're brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. I like just like you just get it, and this has been so freaking fantastic. So I think as well that the market is shifting. I think that one of the worst things that you could do right now is buy a brand new house that is with all the bells and whistles if you cannot afford it. These new houses that are being built, that are sitting empty right now, they're going to take a hit in equity. They're just going to, just naturally. That's what new houses do. They take a hit in equity. You throw the market shift correcting with salaries not aligning with how high these prices are going, with interest rates going up. And what you're going to see is some people that cannot afford the houses that they have recently bought, that are going to want to fill it with furniture that they cannot afford, that are then going to want to buy the house and the boat that they can't afford. And you're going to see a lot of these houses all of a sudden becoming new inventory as short sales.
So my recommendation is to start farming some new home communities, because that's your next short sale ticket.
That's right. And I have already had listing appointments with people that bought new 2 years ago that want to talk about short selling their house. And so,
Yep.
and 100% of my clients that buy new, 100%, I tell them, I suggest that you do not buy new. And I have never had a personal agent or a personal client of mine buy new. I'm so anti-buying new that I don't even walk people into the office, because it's like buying a new car. It doesn't make sense for something that should be an equity holder for people unless you're ready to lose a ton of money right off the bat. So I sell a lot of people's new houses, and they take massive hits on them. So buy land right now. Get a little bit of land. Get a little, like, buy resell. Look into fix and flip. All these houses that were built in 88, 92, they've got to be updated. They still have great bones. They just got to be updated.
They do. They have great bones. But I mean, I'm a proponent for land all the time because there's not much left of it.
You can't print more land.
No, you can't. Buy land. There's not much more of it. And then people get tired of living in a community. They get tired of hearing their neighbors fart. You know, they want land.
Yes.
They want space.
Yes. I have been saying the same thing. Buy land right now. Buy land. Buy it on the outskirts of town. Because right now, people want to sell their land more than they have ever wanted to sell their land. They're willing to carry. There are more programs that are out there for buying land, more types of loans. And there are also VA loans that make it possible for you to buy and develop land. So the thing is there are options out there for you to buy land. They're not more of it. And in areas like East Murrieta, Winchester, in parts of Menifee, their land right now, it's just going to go up. It's just going to get nicer.
I have 2 great land parcels for sale. I mean, come on, I don't understand. You know, people just want new and shiny. That's the thing. But you know.
Yep. Give me a freaking mobile on 5 acres in Temecula for $399,000.
I would take it.
Give me that. Give me that all day long. I'll build the house later. So what is your, and I'm sorry, I kept you over an hour, which I try not to do, but I get so interested in talking to people that I can't hang up. So I want to get you right here, 14 years of experience. What is your advice to your average everyday agent right now who doesn't see the trends the way that you do?
You need to connect on a level that you've never connected before. Mm-hmm. You need to go back to basics. You need to be kind. Rewind. You need to be kind to one another. And those relationships that you carry in this industry, whether it be buyers, sellers, other agents, or just friends in general, that is going to make the difference in a declining market. People are going to remember that you are genuinely vested in their success.
Yeah. That's real.
You know, it is. And that's the thing is that, you know, it's all in the details. It's all in the details because, you know, in a declining market, people are going to remember the little details. Well, you didn't do this. You didn't do that. You didn't do this. It's all in the details. And if you connect on a different level, those details don't matter.
Connection is king. Connection is king. And right now, there's a lot of us that have made a lot of other people a lot of money, and we've helped a lot of people out. Mm-hmm. And we are at a point to where we see the shift is here. Yes. And we're like, you know what? I want to help out all my people that have helped make a lot of people a lot of money. And at this point or another, you have got to start thinking about your family. You've got to eat past the freaking plate. It's time for you to cut the food. It's time for you to be at the table. It has been exhausting for me as somebody that came from nothing. Yeah. Somebody that came from nothing to watch these hoarders of wealth and these hoarders of information strangle everyone else out of the industry, strangle everyone else out of the market, hoard information, keep everybody out. And right now at EXP, there's a whole bunch of people that give a crap about other people that are just giving information away. Because what happens in other markets, a lot of these markets, like what's happening in Texas, north of Austin, that's what's happening in Murrieta and Temecula. What it will work in parts of Florida will work in Murieta and Temecula.
That's right.
Fine on a national level.
And that's what's so powerful with EXP. That and the synergy. The synergy is amazing, and it's infectious, and it just makes you want to do better and do good, and then keep going and keep going.
Yep.
And for new agents, I mean, I really would suggest that give EXP a whirl.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't.
I can tell you, I'm on fire again for the first time in probably 2 years. I'm at a point to where I'm like, I want to operate. I want to be a part of something again, because it's been so frustrating and so draining for me for so long that I've had to retreat and I've had to back up.
Yep. I did that too, though, Dave. That's why you become the lone wolf, right? Is because it gets exhausting, it gets frustrating, and you don't know where to turn or what to do, and you're just tired of being hurt and putting your heart on your sleeve, and it's frustrating. It definitely is. But EXP has given new life, new energy to my career, and I just every day get more motivated. With every little blip I hear on my phone, I know that somebody's got a great idea or that they want to share.
Yeah. And you've already brought a couple of agents into EXP. Have they finished being processed? Are you able to kind of pass along those names, or do you want to keep those quiet?
Not yet. I mean, one in particular I'm really excited about, Namath. She's a new agent, brand new. I mean, 2 months into it. And she was worried that she wasn't going to get mentored. She's getting a mentor with EXP, but I've taken her under my wing. I will bring her to listing appointments. I will take her around town. When I talk to clients, I put my phone on speaker. If it's okay with my sellers or my buyers, so she can hear the lingo, how to talk.
Yeah.
It's very exciting to have someone, again, who is so excited about real estate, and it's
like a sponge, excited about it.
Yeah, completely.
It makes it all better to be around motivated people that want to be better.
Yes, and she truly does, and so I know that she will be incredibly successful. And then I have some other people who are coming aboard, and I'm so excited. So excited!
It's one of those things when you have a new agent that signs up and gets into the queue to be processed, or signs a letter of interest, because I know that a lot of people are like, hey, I can't come over right now, but I can come over in 2 months.
Yes.
Sign the letter of interest, and then that way you can start getting credit for attracting agents that you might want to bring over while you're waiting for your paperwork to funnel. And then if you decide after 2 months that you don't want to do it, those agents just default to grace. But it sets you up for success for that transition. Because once you do it, like Mike Bjorkman, who had to sell off franchises to make the transition, he knew for a long time, and he just had to keep his mouth shut. And it was hard for him, and it was hard for David, who wants to scream it on top of the mountaintops. And it's hard for me when I bring on, the former number 2 agent in the world who sold $4 billion in real estate. And when I brought you on, and when I brought Christian on, it's one of those, you just want to scream it out. You want to be like, hey, everybody, welcome to the family. But you've got to kind of keep it shut. So we'll make those announcements in due time. And my last thing that I will ask you, as a fellow person that is held an open house within the last week, just like me, what is your advice, Grace Santiago, to consumers? People who are buying and selling real estate.
Ooh, be aware. Be aware of the market, and education is key. Don't jump in quickly. I hate those impulse purchases. Yep. I have customers who want, see one home, okay, let's put an offer. I love that. However, I want you not to have any regrets. So let's just take a look at some others as well. And so and I feel good as an agent that you're making the best decision for your family. Again, putting their needs ahead of mine.
I heard an agent one time, and he's a local agent, and I gave him a hard time about this, but he was speaking on a podcast, and he said he would not show clients more than 3 houses. And if they wanted to see more than 3 houses, he would cut them loose. And I primarily focused on listings. And I was like, that's not service. And he's talking about, he goes, they need to know which 3 houses they want to see. But the thing is I want people to have so when I go out, if somebody was like, I want to see 1 house, I'm like, let's at least go see these other 2 as well.
Yes, I mean you want to have options. I
Yeah.
mean honestly, but I mean I more power to them if they want to know, I want that dress or I want this pair of shoes, but that's great, but this is the house. This is where memories are made. It's a little bit more important than that and uh so,
This isn't shoes. This isn't a dress. Let's try on a couple more.
let's try on and then you can say yes to the dress. That's fine. That's fine. But let's, be educated. Have a great relationship with your agent. Get to know your clients. My goodness, what do they do for a living?
Yeah.
Back to basics, people. But have the consumers get to know your agent as well.
Hmm.
You know.
I got to a point to where I outgrew my ability to provide good service. And I had one listing, and it is the only bad review that I've ever gotten. I basically ended up going in and buying them some, doing some stuff and making it right because it was the only bad review that I have ever gotten from a client, and I felt terrible, and it was because the service lacked.
Yes.
And I knew the service lacked. I didn't feel good about it. Some things were, and I ended up making some changes to my staff, and I ended up, fixing some things. But I was so concentrated. Growing was so important to me, and being number one was so important to me that I lost my ability to provide great service. And at that moment, I was like, I have to get my hands back in. I have to establish accountability, and I can't trust everyone to treat everybody the way that I would treat them.
Right. And that's where it goes back to be the agent you would like to have.
I love that. Be the agent you'd like to have. On that note, right there, Grace, thank you so much for making the Serpa show. And it was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic to have you on. It was over an hour, hour and 15 minutes. And we talked about being manic. We talked about being the daughter of an Ecuadorian immigrant and a single mom who instilled values and hard work and the importance of serving your fellow mankind. She said, "We're going to make it, baby." And when you guys went down to San Diego, she got into real estate. She became her own savior, her own Superman, and she became a broker, married your stepdad, who was also a broker. You didn't want to follow her immediately into real estate because you said, you know what? I need to give my kids time. But as a single mom, you decided, hey, I have to own it. Time has changed. I have to do this. You open 11 escrows in 2 months. You were a part of an REO business. When you saw the trend changing with Casabella Escrow, you were helping with 37 REOs per week. You got into short sell. You helped process 400 short sells. In 2014, you started your brewery. You are expanding, made over $500,000 in profit for selling beer with a company that started in your garage. How fantastic. Your cut was Zillow. Your keep was good old-fashioned, hardworking real estate and relationships. Your book was The Secret, which I love because Oprah knew that manifesting was cool before it was cool.
Yep.
And we talked about health. We talked about diversifying, and it was awesome. Thank you so much for being on the Serpa Show, Grace. Have an excellent rest of your Friday.
You too.
Have a great weekend.
Love you.
Do you have anything to leave everybody with?
Get out there and freaking sell.
Get out there and do it. Get to work.
Get out there and do it. You can do it.
You're awesome. I appreciate you, Grace. Have a good rest of your Friday.
Care.
Bye, everybody.